Trust is it's a thin line. It is a thin line. Uh, there's a famous saying: "If you never trust anyone, you will never be betrayed." Which is, I guess if you look at it in the perspective of things, it is quite a accurate term. Um, you can't really trust anyone nowadays. Um, you know, because like there's like sudden things happen spontaneously and out of the blue that change your opinion on someone or make you trust them less, or make you feel bad for giving them your trust and then you feel like they've kind of abused it. Some people can't even trust their parents or their family members anymore. You know, I guess trust is something. It's like something you build over time with someone, but it can be smashed very quickly. You know, uh, you know, like a lot of people have like a best friend, and like I said before, something happens. Like I don't know, they say something about you, and then you hear about it, and then you totally change your opinion on that person. Your whole kind of view on that person is turned upside down, and it is a thin line between who you trust and who you don't. Me personally, sure, I guess I trust people. I've got a few mates that I trust. My mum, some family members. So I don't think there's anything wrong with trusting someone, but it is a gamble because you never know. You never know what a person is like deep down. I mean, sometimes you feel like you know the person so well, and you're so confident that that person what is what you perceive them to be, and then something happens, and they turn out not to be like that. And it's famous incidents of trust. I don't know if you remember this, but there was a girl that got kidnapped. Her name was Shannon Matthews, and obviously her mum. They claimed that she had been lost and someone had stole her and that, and there was a big campaign to try and find her and that, and she ended up being held by her uncle, and her mum was in on it. And basically, what they did was is they tried to basically make money by getting ransom or something like that, or getting some kind of money donation to help find her and using it as like personal benefits. Which is yeah, I mean, there's a bar in life, and it's sunk very low nowadays. Um, trust you have to. Trust is basically trust that person with anything. You can speak to them about anything, personal problems or something that's happened, and expect them not to hold that information and not do anything that you wouldn't want them to do with it. Like for example, if you say that you're pregnant, say if or this is just for women because obviously it's impossible for men. Like if you're a girl and you're pregnant and you want to keep it on a secret, but you can tell your best friend, but like tell her not to do it, and then she goes and tells everybody. That's a betrayal of trust. Cheating in a relationship, that's a betrayal of trust because if you get married to someone or you're together with someone, and then you go with someone else or sleep with someone else, the partner that you've cheated on is trusting you not to do that, and they expect you to say vice versa and stuff. And if you do that, that's a betrayal of their trust. Or, for example, if your parents tell you not to go out and get drunk or stay out too late, and you come home past your curfew, or you've drunk too much and stuff, that's a betrayal of trust because they've trusted you to be responsible, and you've abused their trust to let you go out and have a good time to a certain extent. Um, yeah, I mean, trust. I can see why people choose not to trust anyone because it's such an uncertain world that we live in. Anything can happen. There's no script to it or anything. It just things happen unexpectedly. Like just people die unexpectedly. And stuff like that. People change unexpectedly. Uh, people's opinions change and stuff like that. People's motives change. So yeah, I mean, trust. Oh, another betrayal of trust. I mentioned this in a video before, but a good mate of mine was in school, and he had a personal problem, and the teacher seen this because, well, you know, I won't go into it, but they seen what his problem was, and they made fun of him for it. You know, the teacher did that. You know, that's a betrayal of trust as a teacher, for example, because well, no, it's an it's a abuse. It's abusing your responsibility as a teacher to, you know, well, basically look after these kids and teach them, you know, what you want them to be taught. Uh, I guess morals as well, you know, singling a kid out and making the rest of the class laugh at him and for your own kind of amusement, which, you know, is totally wrong. Obviously, I'm not going to mention names and stuff like that because, you know, it's all confidential and stuff. But, yeah, trust is, it's just so there's thin lines between it. I mean, sometimes people make mistakes, and it's a one-off, and you know people never speak to them again, and you know that friendship is ruined by just one thing that was a one-off. But then, on the other hand, there's people that are like that deep down, and then people take them back and they get hurt again. So yeah, it is like a double-edged sword, I guess. You know, I guess it's the way certain people handle situations. Um, like for example, I mean I don't want to talk about my dad too much because for any of you that are on Facebook and you know I've been keeping up to date with my statuses and stuff like that, you'll have found out I am very well not very close but closer to seeing my sisters. I'm hoping to high heaven that will come through and I'll get to have a relationship with them because it means a lot to me. So I don't. This is why I don't want to speak about my dad too much because if they come and click on here and you know let's listen to this, then I don't want to badmouth their father or anything because you know that's wrong, no matter how his and mine relationship is gone. But going back to the trust is my dad, and this is my opinion. This is my opinion is a compulsive liar. Um, well, this is the example I'll give you. When I spoke to my dad, when I first started speaking to him, uh, I asked how were my sisters told that how they were told about me. You know how they had another brother, and he said, "Oh, I just waited until they were old enough age, and then I explained to them." And I was like, "Yeah, fair enough. You know, that's a fair point. That's you know responsible and stuff like that. You know." And then obviously I got to speak to my sisters on like Twitter, I think. For a small period of time, and they said their mum had told them. So basically, he blatantly lied about that. I've never confronted him on that, so I guess I can't really put his part of the story over. But you know, I mean, that's a betrayal of trust. You know, by lying, keeping information from someone that, well, I'm his son basically, but I don't mean that much to him. I don't think. But you know, this not this isn't really about my dad. You know, but it was just an example. Or you know, if someone withholds information from you, then that's a betrayal of trust. Because obviously, if it's something you really need to know, sorry, just needed to cough. Uh, if it's something you really want to know, like I was seeing a thing today. Oh god, I'm gonna have to mention Jeremy Kyle. My mum watches Jeremy Kyle, and I mean sometimes I watch Jeremy Kyle just for the fun of it and laughing at the people that are on it. I guess, which is kind of cruel, but you know, it makes you feel better about yourself sometimes. But there was when I was having my breakfast, my mum was watching Jeremy Kyle, and there was this person on, and they obviously do the DNA tests because everyone's obsessed with having kids nowadays, apparently. Um, yeah, so they were doing a DNA test, and the girl said to the guy, even they did a private one, and they were like, "Oh, when the results come, I'm not going to tell you, even if he is yours." So that's a betrayal of trust. I mean, okay, she didn't. She came out and said that, but it's still a betrayal of trust to her, like her little. I don't know if it was a daughter or a son, but her little baby, because you know, even though that's you know he's not an actual human being or personality yet. Um, well, he is a human being, but you know what I mean. You know, he's not like old enough to have that kind of trust in her. You know, she has that responsibility of giving him that information when he's old enough to understand, and she was going to keep it from him. So that's another betrayal of trust. We're now at the end of the video because this is another short one. Yeah, so if you feel strong about this topic, about trust, and you've ever been betrayed, or what you feel about trust, put down in the comment section, mail me on Facebook, you know, whatever you want to do. Thank you for watching this video. The charities link will be down in the description as always, and I shall see you for the next video, which should be the second part of Society. Okay, peace.